Lisa's here. Yeah. At least we have a quorum. Thank you, Lisa, for being here.
Sure.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
David did call me at 6 and he is supposed to join, so
Okay.
we'll give him 1 minute and then we'll start.
Did everyone sign in on the sheet? Thank you.
You signed me in love.
Don't cost you though, Carl.
If I can see it.
You got the full authority.
Gave it to her.
Yeah, well, no, I had to sign that.
For the marriage vows, Jim.
Couldn't read it then, couldn't read it now.
No excuse. All right, let's go ahead and start. It's Thursday, October 10th at 6:31. This is the Development Review Board. In person with Charlie Decker, Chelsea Durham, me, Diana Meehan, Danielle Turn, our CA, and Lisa Faring is on Zoom. So we do, thank goodness, have a quorum. Are there any adjustments to the agenda? Hearing none. Are there any public comments? Okay. Under hearings, the first one originally scheduled was Warren and Laurie Wright, 2024-68 DRB. They've let Danielle know that they have requested a recess until November. David Eric is now here joining us. Hi, David. So we don't deal with that one tonight. Should we vote on that? Did we fix that?
Well,
For recess?
we have to
didn't reopen it.
we have to recess it to a date and time certain.
Okay, so we will, do you have the November date?
Well, I think it's November 14th.
Thank you. November 14th.
November 14th.
Okay, so is there a motion to recess this to November 14th, our November meeting?
I make the motion.
Kelsey, seconded by Charlie, all in favor?
Hi.
Aye, opposed? Okay. Don't you like how official we are now, Jim?
What's that?
I said, don't you like how official everything has to be now? So application 2024-74 DRB, conditional use review. State of Vermont, applicant is the town of North Hero. The location is 185 Station Street. Here for the applicant, we have Jim Landino. Are there any interested parties for this hearing? Hearing none. Are there any conflicts of interest on the board?
Be interesting if the board had a conflict with the town.
No ex parte communication been held. So, Jim, I'll give you
Hi.
the oath. I hereby swear that the evidence I give in the cause under consideration shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth under the pains and penalties of perjury.
I do.
Okay. So, sir, if you would like to proceed with your,
All right, this is a project that I think for a lot of the towns been a long time desired and coming. We're looking to construct a water storage tank on the state land on Station Road, which we do have a lease on it from them. It's been in place for years and years and years. Purposes for a backup supply for the southern half of the town, for the municipal water supply for the residents of North Hero. This project was originally applied for and has an approved permit that goes back to June 10th of 2010. And it's pretty much the same as then, except for a couple small changes. At the time, it was gonna be kind of a taller tower, and it was gonna be proposed to be 100 feet in height. Okay, to the east of the state garage. That's down there. And we did a lot of digging around, got a lot of quotes, did a lot of homework. And instead of building a tall tower, we're building more of a storage tank.
Recording in progress.
I don't know what my light is. I have a light is.
So why was nothing built, Jim?
That's a good question. That's a good question. That I haven't been able to really get an answer to. There's probably been a lot of budgetary concerns. A lot of things, where's the money gonna come from? And I think there are other priorities on the water board and in the water department in general. You know, just 2 years ago, we did an upgrade to the water treatment plant to add capacity. For, as the town was growing and we needed to be able to put out more. What really promulgated this, I think, in the last few years and rose it to a real head was the series of breaks that were occurring on Route 2 in the vicinity of Birdland area down through that skinny stretch there. And having the school be affected, the town offices being affected, Shore Acres being affected, the North Hero House being affected, and all the residents on the south half of the island. So there was quite a lot of support for this and push for this over the years, and I think finally all the pieces just came together to get this done. We were very fortunate to get a lot of good funding for this. Like 3 grants. So there's not only the water tower, but there's a lot of water line replacement that's gonna happen on Route 2. And you know, it's turning into almost a $4 million project. And we've secured $2.3 million in grant money. And we also got a bond voted in on the last election cycle. That was approved by the residents. So there's a lot of support out there for this. And it's well funded, and we're very happy about that.
Just to be clear here. The tank project is for supply. It's got nothing to do with the water line breaks.
No, it's to be able to, when the water line breaks, the shut off in the southern half of the town gets nothing for the duration of the repair. We can draw out of the tank and keep everybody running, and there won't be a shutdown period. And so the tank was, on the original one, it was 100 feet in height, and it was permitted as something 36 to 50 feet in diameter. We're gonna do something more like this ground storage tank right here. And that tank is gonna be 36 feet in diameter and 45 feet high. It's gonna hold 294,000 gallons of water.
Sorry, did you say 2,000?
294,000.
294,000.
One of the early runs on the water line,
Pardon me?
one of the early runs on the first water line was they used cast iron.
I'm sorry, excuse me. I'm sorry, we definitely will let you speak, and definitely you can ask questions. But according to our procedures, we let the applicant finish their testimony first, and then we get questions from the board, and then we open it
I
up
was just wondering if they
to
would have
the-
the same problem again.
to the public. Don't forget that question, bring it up shortly.
So the reason why we're here is because there are a couple of changes to the original issue permit, one being the height of the tank and one being the location of the auxiliary building that's going to hold the pump station. The original pump station was on the south side of the tower. It's now going to be on the northwest side of the tower.
Is there a reason you moved it?
The engineers liked it there.
Okay. Okay,
It's actually further from the property line with the Trambies. And the tank is still 25 feet from the property line, which meets the side yard setbacks as it was the last time. So, I mean, that's it. I think pretty simply, 100 feet to there. The building is about 300 square feet for the auxiliary building with the tanks. Turn around. Yeah. And we went away from the big tall tower that was gonna be 100 feet because we saved only $1 million by doing this other design. So we visually and aesthetically lowered the tank, took a whole bunch of money out of the project, and we're getting the project underway that everybody's been asking for a long time.
So the line goes from there, from the pumping station out to Station Road and hooks up onto the current water line on Station Road, or
Yep.
does there have to be changing in size?
No, same one. So the access, which is the regular state access in from Station Road. And we'll be constructing a gravel road to go over to where the tank is. So there's not another cut coming in on Station Road. The right of way down here is to bring water in and water out and bring power and electric up to the site here. The access will be in here past the garages and down into like this. Part of the reason too, I believe, was for moving it when it was down here, there was going to be a little bit of trouble with fire truck access if necessary.
So this is a current road, right?
The driveway's here for the state.
Okay, and this is just a
That's
right of way.
utility-
That's gonna be
utility.
the water in and out and the utility
Gotcha,
egress.
gotcha.
Coming in and out of there.
And what's the property line on that side?
Property line on this side is
Way down, okay. So there's no issue at all with any property.
right here. This is the state's property.
Okay,
Diana, this is Lisa Faring. And good to see you, Jim. Hey. Unfortunately, and I think you probably know this, we can't use the information from the previously applied for permit. It was null and void after 6 months after it was issued. And that's in the decision itself.
Well,
So-
why was it null and void? There was the Mylar filed, which was the only condition that required it to stay intact.
Applicant must act within 6 months of this report to either request additional time or to request an additional or final site plan review.
The site plan was submitted and filed and it's recorded in the land records.
I don't believe there's a site plan review. Is that? Do
That's
we
your
have-
fault. The site plan is signed off on the records. I had Lisa and Corinne pull it out 2 months ago and it is there.
Okay, well then I think we need to see those.
Well, go get it.
Okay, because right now, as far as I can tell, we don't have the things that are required for a conditional use review. And, you know,
I think you do.
well, let me go over our current bylaws and what is required for conditional use review. That would be 5.6B, I believe. Is that right?
6.1.
Oh, is it 6.1? Okay.
I have reviewed the site plan personally with respect to the Ontario development regulations for a site plan for a conditional use review, and all the elements are on the site plan.
I do not see any of those. Okay, let me see. We can hang on. Sorry, I don't have this right in front of me. Okay. A complete application. This is yeah, I guess that's a complete application for conditional use review shall include all the information requested on the North Hero application to the DRB, including a description of all existing and proposed activities that will take place on the property, both inside and outside of structures, hours of operation for commercial and industrial operations. The application fee, 2 copies of a site plan, which includes all the stuff, including probably all the information you have. Vicinity map, existing and proposed structures, public roads, deeded rights of way, wells, septic systems, etc.
Lisa, his site plan appears to be complete.
I've submitted full-size copies of the site plan and I submitted electronically. Did you review it?
Yeah, I received one
you
sheet.
review
I
it?
see no elevations. I don't see any hours of
Elevations and
operation.
Contours are on the site plan. What
No,
elevation?
elevations of the structures.
Well, he just told us that.
It's right here, water tank, 40 feet high, 45 feet high. It's on the site. plan.
Right. But I'd like to see some sort of engineering drawings of the structure.
I'm
What it
not,
looks
We're not here
like
for a
and
building- we're
that
not
there's
here for-
adequate
We're
screening.
not here for a building permit. We're here for a site plan.
I'm not
We're
sure why
here for
that's-
conditional use approval. And, you know, there's all of these things that we normally require for conditional use approval, parking and circulation. You know, what the staging is going to be for construction.
That's not on here. I don't know what,
Control her.
it's got everything here on this large site plan that we're looking at.
This is a commercial use, yes. Will there be public going in and out of this property? No way. This is only for access by water department people, maintenance, and anything that requires for building or construction. This is not heroes welcome with a bunch of cars pulling in and out.
Let me just ask if there will be no fuel or hazardous waste storage, correct? Or if there are other areas where the fuel will be kept. Would be,
I'm trying to remember if there's a
Hazardous
backup
waste.
generator on this or not.
but there's no hazardous waste.
Well, if there's a backup generator, you have fuel. I
But-
don't know if, I forget if there's a backup generator on the site. Be honest. We have a generator at the water plant down off of North End Road. Only tank for it. But this will have a pump station. Running off electric. Now, whether they have a backup generator, I don't recall.
But it's basically electric.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, so if we're talking backup generator, we're not talking large propane tanks or anything of that nature. We're talking about the potential for supply, which is something we could put in as a condition of you know, the appropriate requirements for handling of such things. And if the water board doesn't know how to handle, heaven help us. Lisa?
Yeah,
I'm not sure what kind of elevations that you would be looking for because other than the dimensions of a circular tank where the diameter and the height is given, and the dimensions of the small pump house, what else were you thinking?
well, a drawing showing the tower. I mean, that's what we've received in the past.
We've got a drawing right here.
There's a likeness, if you had gone to the open public meetings we had and read all the published information the water board gave to this entire town, you might have a lot of your other answers too.
Well, that was not a permit application.
All that stuff was made open to the public. It's in the records upstairs.
I think, I don't know, I don't know if we have a way to show this to you. Can we hold this up somehow? I don't know if you can see.
It's the,
the one
Put your
that's
finger
circled?
out.
This
that's a
one here.
likeness only. It's a cylindrical tank.
And then can you see that? And then
Oh, I'm sorry.
and then the tower,
No, that's not, but
that's
that's,
not, that's just,
no.
there's no.
it's just that blue
none of the
tank on the
tower.
upper
Just
left
this-
side.
Okay, so it's just,
That's it.
just this one.
Thank you.
Lisa, are you suggesting that we stop this meeting? Or can we continue with this meeting and then under deliberations decide what our decision will be or what steps we need to take next?
Well,
really-
my,
really
yeah,
don't-
my suggestion is,
Go, or we get on with the meeting.
yeah, my suggestion is that we recess this
I'm
until
not
a
gonna
complete
recess this tonight,
application.
Lisa, I'm not recessing this tonight. I'm gonna close it when we're done.
Let me just, hold on.
Well,
Let's, if that's what you propose, let's take a vote of the board.
okay, and before we go over that, I'd like everyone to look at the decision. That's Exhibit C, I believe. And has everyone read the decision?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
Okay, good. I mean, it was, you can see how much went into that in terms of the testimony and analysis, and much of that is the same. So I appreciate that, but our laws have changed. So all of the references in this about if it's meeting zoning requirements or not, that's those references are no longer valid.
but we can question them. I mean, so you don't.
Yes,
close
but
the
that's not,
hearing.
that's okay. So, but that's kind of besides the point, because I just want to go down to the bottom of the decision where it says additional required steps. Applicant must act within 6 months of this report to either request additional time or to request an additional or final site plan review. The DRB is required to provide public warning of the time and date of the continuation of the hearing. To do that, you must notify us at least 3 weeks prior to our meetings. And, you know, as you know,
You're
if
reading
you don't, you know, the state statute is if you don't complete on your project within, now it's 2 years, so it was less than that, then the approval is no longer valid.
That's why he's here.
Great.
He's not saying, if he was going on it, that it was approved, he wouldn't be here.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You're absolutely right, Charlie.
No, it was approved. We're here because there was a siting change of the building.
All right, let's take a vote right now. Does the board want to hear this tonight? And all those in favor? Aye.
aye.
David, okay, Lisa, no, so it's 4-1, so we're gonna proceed.
Thank you.
Okay,
I think you need to roll call vote.
okay, roll call. Charlie,
Yes.
Delcy,
Yes,
Lisa,
No.
David,
Yes.
Diana, yes, 4-1.
Thank you.
Okay, let's proceed. Questions from the board? Any other?
You know something, I have a different set of additional required steps on the permit I have than this one is.
What's the date of yours?
Yeah, Kate Kenny signed it. That look like a
This
June,
date-
does
this
that
is
look like a
date-
June 16 to you?
11.
It's June 2010. This one is dated May 14th, 2009.
The one you just handed me was June 11th.
Well, this one, the date is May 14th, 2009.
You know about the one I just had right in my hand?
That's right. Can we just look at this real
Yeah,
fast?
go ahead,
Sorry.
yeah.
So this one is dated June 10th, 2010. Charlie, I don't know if you wanna,
Mine
Is that
dated
10 or
June
16?
11th, 09.
I'm looking at the signature date.
yeah. I'm just looking at this is the same thing, water tank not to exceed 100 feet. 10 acres, let's see the application.
See,
The
the-
size of the new building is,
it's 300 square feet, so that's roughly 17.5 by 17.5. If
Okay.
you do the square root.
So
in your
this one
head.
was 12 by 12.
Mhm.
No change without prior approval of the town. Development Review Board reserves the
This
right
is
to
dated-
review and issue supplementary.
This is 2009, that's 2010.
I know it.
So
That's why we're
this is
looking at this
superseded.
one.
Yeah,
That's why we're looking at
that's
this.
why we're looking at this one. It says on this one, which is a later date than the 2009, Lisa, it says there should be no change in the proposed use or approved plans without prior approval of the town. The Development Review Board reserves the right to review and issue supplementary findings of fact for any substantial change in the project approved herein. If, approval site plan expires 90 days. If the Mylar of the approved final site plan has not been duly recorded in the office of the town clerk, this permit will be void, but it has been recorded.
It appears that there were a couple, it appears that there were a couple of meetings and a couple of different conditions were put out. Or approvals were put out, and I think that
It's interesting that this one is a year that this one is.
Mhm.
I don't know that history. The only thing in the one that I had dated in June is to file the Mylar, which was filed.
So let's just note that we need to get a copy of the
Yeah.
June 10th, but this is
Yeah.
pretty, then you wanna.
This is a new application, isn't it?
This is a modification to an existing permit. And since the siting has changed, it is a new application. We're modifying an existing permit. All the conditions in the prior permit stand. The only thing we're modifying is the height and the location of the building.
the existing permit, yes, you put a Mylar in, but the building was not built.
Correct.
So you did not complete, which means we can look at this as essentially a complete application at this point, which has all of the information that is required.
Which it seems to on the map here, on the site plan.
And I
David,
think
oh, yeah, Charlie, go ahead.
Essentially, what you're saying is we have a new application.
Essentially, yes, because the permit, it was
Right.
permitted, but it wasn't built. And the state gives us 2 years to have it completed. Or have it built. So this is a new application, but as a new application, you've got a complete site plan, complete engineering, everything,
That we need.
yes.
Okay, I can go with that.
Charlie, you have questions? Oh, Darcy,
No.
you can.
I do want that to become an exhibit for us.
The 2010 decision? Oh, no,
No,
the
this right here.
likeness. Okay.
We also,
May
yes,
we keep that?
definitely
Yeah,
need
yeah,
the
yeah.
later.
Thank you.
Later one, but that gives us a view, although the dimensions certainly tell us what it is.
Thank you.
So this clearly states that it is a conditional use application. That's what they've applied for, is a conditional use application. There's nothing about modifications or changing anything previous to this.
It doesn't say modification on this, you're right.
So we can proceed as a new application, as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned.
Yes.
David, do you have any questions?
No, I'm good.
Okay, do we want to change that, change the previous vote then?
No, because we're proceeding with the hearing.
Well, we're proceeding with a different hearing.
No.
We're proceeding with a new application.
No, we're proceeding with the application in front of us, which is 2024-74 DRB, which does
And-
not say anything about amending.
Great. Okay,
Right,
so this new de novo hearing.
yes, to construct.
Okay,
a
good. I mean,
future-
that was really my point. So, great.
Well, we've got everything, and it looks like he has met all the site plan requirements. And if there's no immediate more questions, I'm gonna open it up to this. Go ahead.
I
Kevin.
I do have one. I don't know what that land is, and it's a little hard for me to see the elevations. Why is it located so close to the property line? I understand that it's within the guidelines. But just curious why it's located that close to the.
It's where the old one was. It comes up with simple access for the water line, the piping. It's away from the state garage operation, so there's some space between them.
Is
It's
the,
in some open part of the land that the state's not using. It's the land, it's the land the state leased to us.
and the elevations, I can't see is it coming uphill, so it's at a higher elevation, or is it downhill from?
Oh, if you really want to get into elevations, this is topoed right around the thing with elevations on it. The set other sheets that I provided. This is getting more into the design and engineering piece of it as opposed to the site plan, but you can see that 143, 142, 141. So we're coming downhill here a little bit, down to 140. So it land sloping this way.
Right, so it makes sense
Pretty
to gradual, but it also makes sense for the location of a storage tank. You want it at the highest
Higher.
elevation, so you have the least amount of pumping.
So
Spoken like an engineer.
My professors would be very glad to hear you say that. So they're all up there.
and it gets into finer granularity here with the siting and where the
So-
tank is and elevations and elevation.
No, I didn't know what the elevation was, but clear that up, so. Thank you.
Yep.
So. Can you state your name, please? Abby Williams. Did you have a question that you wanted?
No, this is an accident because I was bored. It had nothing to do with anything official.
Okay, so, no, any other questions from interest? There were no interested parties, but
I'm surprised.
any comments? Are there any other questions? Oh, David.
I have a couple of questions, Jim. Welcome back.
Hi,
Great to
David.
see you here. And I saw that there was an intention to plant some trees around the base of this. Is that accurate?
No, there's not.
I'm not sure did you see that in our information, David?
Yeah, that's why I'm bringing it up.
I don't see
I'm looking at, let's see, which document is this? Findings and conclusion by the it's the old report.
It's the old report, which is now.
Yeah. Sorry. And I guess my question would be, both with regards to plantings and also the choice on the color. I was just wondering what the thoughts on that were.
Well, as far as plantings go, I didn't see those as a condition in the prior, so that was nothing I was looking to change. Number two is the land's owned by the state of Vermont, and we don't have permission to plant trees by the state of Vermont. I think if you want trees planted, you have to ask the state of Vermont Department of Transportation. They're the landowner.
Are they also, are they a co-applicant? since they're the landowner?
They're on the application as the owner of the land, and the water board, which I am representing, is the applicant.
Okay, great. So we could make a condition for the state to do that.
Good luck. They're not gonna do it, I can tell you that right now.
I would question the engineering, about plantings in something that is a 25-foot from a property line. I think that would present hazards for the maintenance of the facility.
They would also put roots going near all the water pipes, which could get into the water pipes and inhibit their ability to do their job in the future.
Do we have any visual concerns about this at a high point on the property?
Well, we did take the tank down from 100 feet to 45 feet, so we took 55 feet out of the tank. I think we did a lot to enhance the visual aspect of it and save the town $1 million at the same time.
Right, but we have to weigh, how could, we're
Neighbors want-
justifying going over the height, our
We also
height
have to weigh
restrictions.
common good.
Well, oh, yeah, I'm not saying that's, but like I said, the visual impact of this, could you paint it to have a giant chicken on it? I mean.
Also, if the Trambies aren't here complaining about the
And-
tank, then I think that we should not worry
And I
about the
just-
Trambies.
I just double checked with Danielle that they were made aware of this hearing and they have not objected, so.
Okay,
You question the color too, and I would think that the color that has been chosen is consistent with a lot of agricultural buildings and tanks that are within our community.
Well, all Heister
All high street,
silos are all that blue.
that-
Now, I'm not even sure, I mean, I just put that out as a likeness. I'm not attesting to the fact that it will be blue. I just think that was a likeness that was in the document published by Aldrich and Elliott when they were doing our studies and coming up with our costs and quotes to develop the system, cost the system, and oversee the construction of the system.
So it could be green.
So if we don't have any other questions. Any other?
I have no other questions.
well, Jim, do you know what the construction timeline is and how much construction traffic there would be?
Well, I don't have that off the top of my head. This thing needs to be built by the end of next year or the grant funds go away. So I'm not gonna delay this hearing to another month because time is of the essence. And you have a timeline when you can start using grant funds, you have a certain time to use them or they dry up and you don't get all the money. And we certainly don't want to throw more money back on the residents of this town to do this project. I would say within the year. It
So
would be
can we
done.
call a vote?
Yep. What, do you want to call, does somebody want to make a motion to close the hearing?
Make a motion, we close this hearing.
I second.
Charlie moved, Delcy second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Lisa,
I'm gonna abstain for now.
David? David's gone?
No, I vote to close the hearing.
Okay, so,
In my old hat, I close it too.
so 4-0
Sorry.
to 1, one abstention. Yeah. So, okay, so we will, thank you, Jim. We will get, a decision out to you within 45 days, hopefully before, we never know. There's like a lot on poor lady's plate.
You know, this is a long waited for project by a lot of people in this town.
I don't know if that's true, but we'll agree to disagree.
Well, I guess if you live south of the Cary, a lot of people have been after this for a while.
To do with some.
I know you guys are. Well. Anyway, sorry you disagree. I mean,
Okay, so we closed it at, 7:10. Sorry, look at you ahead of me.
It's okay.
I think the bond got,
Speak up.
only
I'm
3
learning.
people voted against the bond in the whole town.
Yeah.
On which vote?
How many votes were there?
There's more than one, wasn't there? Well, it doesn't matter. Like I said, we can agree to disagree.
Okay,
Kids
so-
are graduating from school. to go
thank you,
camp.
Jim.
And I do have, large copies here if anyone needs them that were submitted with the application. His same
Jim's-
copies.
Yeah, okay.
Just so you know.
Good luck with your
Take care, folks.
house.
Good luck with everything.
I hope your property's okay.
Try to say,
Okay, so, the next hearing is 2024-79 DRB Boundary Line Adjustment. Owner Tracy Dro and Carl Rocca, 3585 US Route 2. The applicants are both here.
Sworn in.
Yeah, I'm gonna, are there interested parties?
I don't know if that makes us an interest party.
You have the right to be an interested party. Only interested parties can appeal a decision.
I guess I'm interested.
Then so you have to come up here and be sworn in then.
Can I do it from here?
Yes, you may. So, well, I'll do this first and then I'll ask the board. I hereby swear that the evidence I give to the cause and consideration shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth under the pains and penalties of perjury. Or interested
You signed in, right?
Yep.
Okay, so they're on the sign-in sheet.
Okay. Okay, and for the board, any conflicts of interest here? Have there been any ex parte communications? No. Okay, so, we're ready. Would you like to give us your,
Sure. Because Tracy doesn't want to speak to it, so. Anyway,
Oh,
basically, basically what we're looking at doing is just reducing currently the farmhouse.
no, wait, we've got
There's
one right
another one
here.
here.
Oh,
There's
you got
another
one
one.
there. This is a different one.
Oh, this is different?
No, that's the right. This is another one that we paid for.
it's when you get to 3 that it starts getting really expensive.
Yeah. So basically what we're just looking at doing is putting the farmhouse, which is currently there on 20 acres of land.
Can you, okay, let's point out exactly where we are then.
Okay.
Guys, I'm sorry, guys, this is the problem with Zoom. So we're looking at the map. I'm gonna try to talk our way
This
through
is
this
US
here.
Route 2?
This is Route 2. Yep. Okay, so this is this is the back chamber. Okay, this is the farmhouse. Okay,
Okay,
so as you currently see, this line, and it goes down here and it L's off basically, and it abuts Abby's.
Right, I own Pilat Space Swamp.
Right.
I do.
Yeah, we got a little bit of it, just a little bit of
You've got a
it.
triangle part,
Anyway,
the
yeah.
corner, yes.
So,
That's why I was trying to figure out where your acreage was coming from.
so this is a 20-acre parcel. This, where we reside, is a 10-acre parcel.
okay, so,
And this one goes all the way down
And
here.
this also goes back here, correct?
so it goes here,
It goes here, here,
yeah,
and
back
then
all the way
and
back
then
there.
back, and back here, not this.
No,
Not this.
Who, this is yours?
No,
No.
this is Heisen.
Okay,
Nice.
okay,
So-
and then this is the 10-acre lot.
This is our 10-acre lot,
Okay,
correct?
so could, if you're looking at the maps, Lisa and David, the 10-acre lot comes from the farmhouse. You can see that rectangular going back from Route 2. That's the 10-acre. The larger lot comes over, out. There's a strip that goes behind Heroes Welcome. And it comes, you can see that it comes straight back.
so for clarification,
Mhm.
the lake is over here.
Yep.
250 feet comes to where?
Well, 250 feet there would, you have the road here and whatever, so I mean, this puts it into,
So this parcel that we're considering, it includes both,
but I wasn't sure there as far as with the
right,
main
with the
road
road
going
that,
through there,
that
that
doesn't-
does not affect.
What's
The
the provenance
village-
of this map?
Hmm?
What's the provenance of this? Is that this isn't a survey? This doesn't appear to be an aerial, a true aerial, so what kind of map is this?
This was all done here by Jay Bierman,
Oh,
okay, so this has not been
it's not a
totally
survey.
surveyed.
No, it's not a survey.
This
This
is a
is
pre-map.
a
This is a
sketch
pre-map.
map.
Yeah,
Okay.
So what I'm interested in is where does, not the shoreline, I made a mistake on that.
village district.
Where does the village end and the rural begin?
Well, I would say there that the village district, I know that our particular place here is, that's rural lands. Considered rural lands. So here's the borderline here.
Okay, so what the very first thing is, this includes two districts. And so two districts,
Mhm.
we have to go to the major subdivision regulations for it in terms of looking at it. I just want it to be clear to you that that's the case.
Okay.
I noted that in the staff
Yes, I
report
read that in your.
because I was unsure because the
Yeah.
boundary line is considered a minor, but I did note that there were two. So I wasn't sure how we were gonna go about
Yes,
that.
so the two districts, so in terms of the application, this would be for major subdivision.
Okay,
And
Okay.
so, okay, so what you're seeking to do is,
so what we're seeking to do here is to put the farmhouse on 2 acres of land. So if you'll notice here, there's this red line,
yeah,
okay?
you can,
Which
okay.
comes down here and basically comes across. And that is the approximate 2 acres.
Can you guys, Lisa and David, can you see the red line from what Danielle sent out? It's very faint, but it's there.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it across.
So this boundary stays the same.
Correct.
And this.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is this right here?
Oh, that was the old killing shed.
Is it still there? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that's gonna be gone.
Doesn't have to be done.
Well, it does if you put a boundary through it.
Yeah.
Because it
I
doesn't meet
move
the
it.
setback rules then.
I can move it. And this is just done on his, this is, like I said, this has not been totally surveyed yet, so we don't really know. This is to the best of his
Right, and you're
calculations.
looking to come to this line here,
That's correct.
right?
This is that parcel there.
And
So let me just, so if this was the initial,
This is the
property.
initial.
Yeah.
This is the initial.
yeah, comes here,
Yeah.
comes back,
The initial parcel.
yeah, and over.
Yeah,
If that ever happens. It's crazy.
So that's gonna be a separate, and then your property line will come from over
then
here.
this will be correct.
It all.
Then our property line there will come across
Will
here
come
and then,
over.
and then we're
And
going to
include that.
absorb put the 18 acres in with our 10.
Gotcha.
So all this is here,
All this will be, okay. Okay,
and you currently, just set for information, you currently have all of the right-of-way things spelled out? Or the deeds will have to?
The deeds will all be reflective of whatever is agreed upon here. I mean, if it's okay there and whatever, the deeds will all be rewritten.
so Carl, what's gonna be the access to this piece of property?
This, exactly what it
What it
is.
is now.
What it
What it
is
is
now?
You know, it'll have to be included in the
A
site
right of way.
plans and the.
That you have a right of way.
That
over
there is,
there.
yeah, I believe that.
We have a right of way now.
We have a right
Yeah.
of way now,
Yeah.
so.
Okay, but just for future, so you don't have problems,
Mhm.
make sure it's bold, we
So-
will,
Yeah.
yeah.
One of the interesting challenges we had in looking at this well, besides not being able to see the red line that was sent to us, and that is in terms of who the various property owners are around,
A bunch of
and
them.
that, well, that in terms of having a hearing,
Mm.
we're required to, address
No, it's not.
and
Yep,
notify
they-
Yep.
all
were.
potential interested parties.
They were notified, all the abutters.
And so having that information on there just makes our life a little easier.
Mhm.
Well, makes Danielle's life a little easier. She's the one that does all the heavy lifting.
That's an interesting piece that you have that little, just that strip
Well, they
there.
owned,
They used to
they
own
owned
that
90 acres, my grandparents. bought it.
94 acres.
And, yeah, and this, so it goes over to the other properties that we owned.
Oh, okay, it
and
was a
still
walkway,
do.
basically.
So I own
And,
this,
and this used to be owned by,
and that was the water line.
So you're gonna lose your access to your property over here,
No,
or it's just it's separate? No,
it's separate. It'll be on that one.
it'll be on.
And how
our
wide is this?
50.
50 feet.
50 feet?
It
That's,
was the early.
That's on-
that's my thing.
That's on Route 2. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There is, I do have a list of abutters if anyone wants to reference it.
It was early development. A family named Berkovitz, who had been refugees, came and they bought the stone house in the village and some acreage with it. Then they proceeded to acquire
Yeah.
around them. And that was what some of this happened. They acquired quite a bit, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, so questions from the board? Lisa or Dave, did we lose David?
No, I'm here and it seems very straightforward to me.
Okay. I'm sorry you guys can't wait. We actually want to talk to the town about,
Mhm.
to the select board.
Mhm.
A light with a camera so you can actually put it over for all meetings so that you can, it'll show
I
up.
was thinking candlelight.
No, but this would be a camera so that we could like,
Oh,
while
yeah,
we're
so
looking
you
at
can
this,
show-
anybody on Zoom can see it.
Yeah. This is Lisa Faring. It looks like we're trying to, I'm just curious about how you pick those lines. I mean, it kind of looks like we're developing precinct maps in Alabama or something. It's because you've got this one part, this 2-acre parcel is kind of it's really broken up, and it goes across the road too, right?
Broken up now.
No, I don't think
I
so.
mean, yeah, it is.
does not-
Well,
no,
there
it
is
does
land,
not go.
there is land across the street. That
Yeah.
belongs to the farmhouse.
Then that would stay.
That's
in the
like,
farmhouse.
that's like fun.
Right, is that included? Your 2 acres is to meet the
Is to meet,
conforming lot size, right?
correct,
Yeah.
correct.
Right.
So,
So,
and as far as this right here, that would be something there that I would have to ask, Jay Berman. You know, if he had included that.
well,
Because
the
it appears
other
to me-
question is, in dividing it up, where is that going to add on to? Is that gonna, well, the ownership of this has got to go either with
It
this
would go with that.
or with this.
No, it'd go with the farmhouse. It'd be with the
So
farmhouse.
that has to be.
So essentially what you're saying is it'll be, if it's not included, it's gonna be 2 acres or more.
2 acres or more, you know, or we slice something off here so I don't have to move this building apparently, so. Anyway, but yeah, so I mean, it would be something, this was just done because. As you can see, this is an old family homestead kind of a deal there where people build here and there. But we wanted to be able to get the 2 acres for the farmhouse. And then we would absorb the 18 acres in our parcel.
Where would the 18 acres, how far up would it go? How close does it get to the swamp?
Oh, it
That's
goes
not
right-
gonna change.
That's not.
That's not gonna change.
The
No,
back
no,
line
That
doesn't change.
No,
Okay,
that
no,
doesn't.
That's what I want to know, how
Yeah.
close you were getting to me.
No, no,
No.
we're still gonna be neighbors.
Still gonna be neighbors, nothing's changing down there. So all of this back here is essentially remaining the same, just associated with this property.
Correct.
Yeah, so it's not really the same. It's actually all becoming part of 37, right?
Yes,
Yeah, so
But then the farmers would get another number, right?
Then the what?
Another tax number. It's gonna be separate. It'll be taxed separate, right? I think it's 2
Well, I
acres in a
don't-
farmhouse.
Well, right, well, they'd have to change and say that for our tax,
Mhm.
which we get taxed on the 10 acres, now it becomes taxed on 28 acres.
Right,
And then the farmhouse gets reduced by 18 acres, so that the farmhouse would be taxed.
right, but it would be a separate taxable property with the
Yes.
2 acres.
Correct.
it is now, it just has
It is
20
now.
with it.
It just
Same.
has 20 acres.
Yeah.
So,
In the long run, you're gonna have to get a survey, right?
oh yeah,
As
Yeah.
opposed to this.
well, that's why I wanted to go
Or the
through
photo
this
by them,
first
And that's
before
what they
I
want.
have a survey done, so.
Spent any more money, just.
Yeah, it looks like the only issue is, Chelsea's brought up is whether because of the building, you can't go right through the building. You're gonna have to go around.
Well,
it
what
or
that
move
is,
the
that's
building.
just a pole, it sits
Oh,
on,
It's, it's a,
it's an old pole barn thing, it doesn't have sidewalls on it or anything, it has a roof over it, it's open
like
all the
an
way
itch.
around. So,
Yeah.
well, it's, I mean, we used to haul the critters on in there and
thank
Hang
you
'em
for
up.
all.
and then we used to get fed well. So,
Any other questions from the board? Lisa or David?
I move that we close the hearing.
Second,
All those in favor?
this is closing the sketch plan.
Yes,
hearing? Okay.
I,
Aye.
Aye.
This is David, I'm I.
Because it's a major, you have to separate.
okay, so our next procedure then would be or you're going to give us your findings.
you will, with the, on this, you will be working with Danielle, she will instruct you whatever.
I like working with them.
So do we.
Thank you.
And then we
um,
can combine the final two
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
into
now,
one instead of having
you wanna
three.
hold on to this one?
I
Is
had,
that the one that
I
was
don't-
yours?
that's the one
That's the one
that you gave me, yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'd like to.
Yes,
hold on to
please.
that.
Thank you.
And you also have that on speedy back.
Yes, oh, I'm sorry, yes, we did close it. Lisa, how did you vote on closing the?
She's
sketch plan?
unanimous.
So it's unanimous at,
Diane,
7:28.
do we have any comments
Oh, right.
from
Yes, did you have any more questions?
No,
Comments?
I was just concerned at how it would impact me, you know?
And it's not going to at all.
Oh, good.
It all stays the same, Abby.
Well, you know, 75 acres of swamp out there,
Yeah.
and I can't check it all out all the time.
I hear you.
There could be homeless people living out there for all I know.
And we try to do a good check every once in a
But I totally understand. I don't have 75 acres of swamp. I only have 3, but it's at the back of the property and it's.
Yeah, who knows what's going on out there?
Yeah.
And the last time I went out there, my brother was still alive and we went out in the snowmobile. And that's been a lot of years.
And now you have to wait for snow.
Yeah.
I have to wait for my brother and the snowmobile too. And I don't know if I could get on one.
Thank you all very, very much.
Well, thank you.
Good night. Thank you
Have a
all.
good
Danielle, we'll be in contact.
Sounds good.
Yes.
All right.
Night, guys.
take care.
just don't put any plumbing in there.
In the killing shed.
Or electricity.
Remember, Dave Greeno in the garage? Built the
Yes.
Garage
Oh,
from,
so we
and it's,
close this,
Chelsea?
close the.
Yes.
I'm Abby Williams. I used to be Abby.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, older.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, my daughter, not this one, the other one, graduated the same time your daughter did at UVM.
Post
You knew my
preliminary.
husband Ollie when he worked at the dump.
Yes, yeah, very well. Yeah. And I remember you were at graduation.
Oh, no, that was this one.
Not this
I
one,
wrote the wrong-
Hillary, my older
Yes,
one.
your older one.
Yeah, I
Yes,
think
I
you
know.
have a daughter the same age as Hillary.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Laura.
Summer young.
Okay.
I would recognize you if I had the same name. That's what happens.
Same here. I know. Well, we just get more and more beautiful, you know.
All right,
It's not small.
okay,
Sorry about that.
that's okay. So we're
Good night.
gonna move on to business of the board. We've got two sets of minutes to approve. We will start with, September 12th. Are there any additions, changes, or would somebody like to make
I
a
move we
motion
accept the minutes as, approve the minutes as written
of September 12th?
of September 12th.
Do we have a second?
I don't remember if I was here.
I'll
Yes, you
second.
were.
It's David.
David seconded.
Thank you.
All in favor, say aye.
David
Aye.
says aye.
Lisa?
Do I have a chance to bring up an issue?
Certainly.
Do you want to hold off on your motion? Technically, we're voting on the motion.
Okay,
to
this is part of
accept.
the discussion of the motion.
This is
Go
really
ahead,
just,
go ahead. Yeah.
this is really just kind of a point of a question for clarification. There's a sentence in here about from the hearing 2024-66. Michael explained his engineer is handling contact with the appropriate water department. And I don't remember that. And I went back to listen. I couldn't really make it out on the audio. So I'm not sure what exactly he was saying at that point.
Are you questioning whether this should be in the minutes?
Yes.
Well, except that it says Delsey asked for that to be noted for final approval, so it's probably important to be in the minutes.
Just clarifying what she's asking.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to not really. Do you remember, Dulcie? What?
Trying to address the issue that you raised, and we wanted to make sure that in our deliberation and onward, that we made sure that any of the water board issues were addressed.
Okay, is that what that is? All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, let's go back to Delsey's motion. David seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm gonna assume David says yes. Okay. So those are approved unanimously. And then we have the minutes of the special meeting on September 26th.
So Dulcie, Diana, I do have a question about that.
Okay,
When I was reviewing the minutes for the update that I sent by email, I did notice that the summary that was actually my summary and that Danielle, I think, captured correctly, is actually incorrect relative to the notes. And so my recommendation is that we remove the summary.
I don't have a problem with removing the summary. Does anybody else have a problem? Okay, we'll remove the summary. And then I have a, under number 5, boundary or easement disputes. According to my notes that I took, we'll add to procedures and change wording of cannot to may not. And according to my notes, it was, we didn't say may not, we said may. The DRB may choose on a case-by-case basis, not may not.
I think that's right, Diana. I don't have the the DRB policies and procedures in front of me, but the goal was to maintain flexibility in the ability of the DRB to make that decision.
So it's just take the word not out.
Gotcha.
There. Okay, any motion to accept the, oh, one other, number 2. Requirement to review pins before foundation. It says will remove. My note just says, PC took up.
I think that's correct as well.
Okay,
So instead of, you can take this if you want,
that's fine.
under number 3, under 2.
To remove the part that says will remove.
Yeah, and just say
Gotcha.
the planning commission
Planning commission.
took up. So, okay.
And in the
Um,
summary that I prepared for this meeting, that's how I have that noted.
Okay,
Thank you.
motion to approve the minutes of September 26th.
I move that we approve the minutes.
I second.
26.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
abstain.
Charlie's abstaining?
I wasn't here for.
He was.
And Lisa's also abstaining.
Oh, can we
We're gonna
approve
do
the minutes?
We need 4 votes.
I was not here for part of the meeting, so I can't attest to what the minutes are.
Same.
Well, you were here for most of them. Okay,
We can hold
Yeah,
on to these
we can
until
hold
the
on
next
till
meeting.
the next meeting then. So we can't approve these votes we don't have.
Yeah,
We need to find a,
Okay.
no, that's okay. So September 26th, revote. Okay, sorry, Danielle.
No, that's fine.
Okay, ZA report.
Couple of new building permits, still just sheds and decks. People are trying to wrap up the season. I have done several, certificates of occupancy for people closing out their permits that they obtained over the summer, and several certificates of compliance for the sale of quite a few properties. I'd say like 5 or 6 of those just in the past month or so. Lisa Keyworth is accompanying me on most of my inspections just so that we can get the lister inspection completed at the same time, make it a little easier for the resident. And that has been successful so far. And otherwise, everything is good. I did get a new zoning complaint just this week, so that if I was gonna be presenting a memorandum of municipal action to you guys, I wouldn't be mentioning it now. I wouldn't be mentioning it until the next meeting because it's technically October. But in the last month or so, knock on wood, things have been pretty quiet and regular, which is
Okay.
great.
Thank you. Okay, budget. This budget, the DRB budget which was included in the file that Danielle sent out. That has to be approved tonight so that we can get it in. So here's the deal on that. Right now, our current budget is $24,299. But I'm going to propose under contracted services, we're at 18,085. In speaking with Andy, he feels like we need to raise that to 20 for the DRB portion of this contract. Because he thinks it's gonna go up our contract with Northwest Regional. So I'm gonna propose that go to 20. The legal fees, we have at 4,000. Even with the number of times we have spoken to Michael this time, right now it's we've only used 180. I don't believe the last conversation, but that was only 1 hour. And I think she said he's at $145 an hour. So, I mean, it's not very much. So Delcy and I spoke, and I'm gonna propose that goes down to 2,000.
I have a question.
Yep.
What happens if there's an appeal? With attorney fees?
I think that goes to the town legal fees, yeah. Doesn't come to us, yeah. The DRB computer software, it's at $264. That was for, something that Christine was using when she was chair. And she told me she does not need it anymore, so that can go to 0. Postage, we have it $650. Lisa said that that's gonna go up and she recommends we put in 800 for that. Advertising is 800, probably keep the same unless Danielle, do you see any changes?
I do
in that?
not, no.
Okay, meeting travel, for years, we had 450 and usually we spend nothing. We spent 10 this year. So maybe put that down to 100. And
I
then
could put in travel money to come over here.
that's for going to training sessions or something. And then, and $50 for supplies. So if you accept those numbers, our budget goes down to 23,750. So about a $550 decrease. Any comments?
What we've spent in the past, it seems very reasonable.
Does somebody want to make a motion to accept the budget?
It's David.
David?
Charlie made the motion. I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And FYI, Lisa and Andy and I met because we had discussed the potential of combining budgets with the, for the planning commission, DRB and ZA. And, in speaking with Lisa, she said the only advantage of that is it takes one step out of her efforts on her end, and she does not feel that it's necessary. So at this point, the recommendation was we keep them separate. So just FYI on that one. The other thing was, I'm not gonna talk about it now, but we did meet on permit fees, which is sort of under budget. And technically, that's really the planning commission's responsibility. But we compared ourselves to South Hero and Grand Isle, and South Hero is amazingly low, but we were lower than Grand Isle on several. So Andy was going to take back the proposal to the planning commission to potentially raise 1 or 2 and lower 1 or 2. So anybody wants more information on that, I can give it, but might as well wait and see what the planning commission does with it. So, David, special meeting follow-up on regulations.
Yes, so unfortunately, I didn't get to it until tonight to write up the summary of our conversations, and I emailed that out just at about 6:30 to Danielle and to the DRB. Danielle, do you have a copy of it available? Is it possible to put it up on the screen? And if not, we can punt until the next meeting.
I can try it. Just be a moment.
It's like me with my college term papers.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I got slammed this week because I'm working on an event at the Aspen Institute tomorrow.
Oh.
Black tie?
Oh, no, not that kind of event. Like a policy convening on digital identification.
I'm going to need a minute. There's something going on with my computer right now. It's frozen.
You know what, Diana?
But
There are 3 items that are for us to take up and to continue discussing. And we
Okay.
didn't anticipate having that conversation until November. So why don't we hold on this until the next meeting?
That makes sense. Do you think we're gonna have any other hearings? Does it look like other than Warren?
Other than Warren, I don't believe so,
Okay.
unless Carl comes back.
Yeah, well, let's potentially say he will, so.
Yeah.
But that doesn't look like that's gonna be too
No, I don't believe so.
detailed.
Yeah.
Okay, well, perfect. Let's, everybody agree, we'll punt it? All right, so, any other business? So let's go into deliberative session at, 7:51. So the DRB is coming out of deliberations at 8:26. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
I
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We're going to adjourn at 8:27. Good night, all.
Good
Good
night.
luck
Thank you.
tomorrow, David.
Thank you.